Hello,
Hi, Gali.
hello. Hi.
Here
Welcome.
we go. I see you on Instagram. Wonderful. Okay,
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, perfect. So we are on live on Instagram over here, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, every other podcast platform live here. And
Yeah.
today we're going into a very exciting topic, one that I've wanted to bring up for a while. Like pretty much I say for all of them, I have a whole list of things I want to go over. And the topic for today is how do you know if you're going to be cheated or not? How do you know if you're working with a professional or not? Because obviously we know that the wrong professional will create bad results, but then the question is, then how do you pick them? Because it's not necessarily by their words or by how good they look or by their brand. There has to be some other criteria. So
Yeah.
that's the subject. But before we go into it, I always say at the beginning of every episode that the answers that you, the listener, will hear might not be what you expect. It might be different. It might challenge you. It might force your mind to expand in a direction that you weren't expecting. But if you let it, if you take on the viewpoint, if you let the medicine work, you will see it might just be the answer that you've been looking for. So that's the disclaimer. And one more thing before we actually dive into the topic, and it's the segment that we do at the beginning, which is taking a popular saying and checking, is that true or not? And so the popular saying for today is experience is the best teacher.
Ah, okay.
And it's very relevant to our topic for today, of course, around how do you know if you're dealing with an expert or not. But aside from that, experience is the best teacher. Many people think that that's true. What is your view?
My view is that it's total nonsense.
Okay. And I figured, yes, why, of course.
Why? Okay. Because according to experience, mankind cannot fly.
Okay.
If we learn from experience, we cannot fly. If we learn
Mhm.
from experience, the blood will still be not flying in the body. If we learn from experience, the experience is really what limit us. The only reason mankind improve is someone take what considered to be the experience, what considered to be this is what I already understand, and said the hell with that. There's something totally new.
Mhm. Mhm.
Someone say, I'm not going to be limited by my experience because the experience only define what you cannot do. Because
Mm.
once if you rely on experience, if you measure someone by his experience, if you look at the experience define what is my limitation. But you have an endless amount of possibilities. If you look at the just on the Milky Way, the size, the number of particles, the number of options are endless. And you say, no, 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 my experience is important. No, what's important is outside of your experience.
I see. Yes, so I can see that on the one hand, if you have experience, you like some experience can be something that's really stopping you, that tells you you can't do it. Like the 4 minute mile, the experience for a long time was it's impossible to break. That was experience. So I
Mhm.
get that. Uh, on the same breath, though, somebody might say, yeah, but I would love to work with a surgeon who has experience. You know what I
Bad.
mean?
I would like to work with a surgeon that knows. A surgeon
Ah,
that have experience will go and check what is experience and any change from the robotic things is that's it, finish. He's a robot and only what has been programmed with him he can do. What's the difference between a person and a robot? A robot is limited to his experience. A person
mm,
can see what's actually going on, what's happening with you. I'll give you an actual true story about an experience. My
hmm
sister's son, he went into an operation. and he had some different kind of the way that his liver was connected. There was something different, and the surgeon worked with experience. He knew, he was a robot. He knew that he need to cut here. He knew that he needs to do that. He worked on experience, and he totally was oblivion to the fact that things are different, and my that person now had years and years and years of complication because one very experienced surgeon that didn't
Hmm.
know. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
who was supposedly he was supposedly very good, by the way. Yes,
Yes,
supposedly,
yes. But
supposedly
this is
professional.
the true story,
Yeah.
because experience is robotic. It prevents you from seeing what's in front of you.
Hmm.
There's only certain things that you know, that's the limitation, and everything else you don't see. So
Hmm.
my experience is A, and everything else I'm blind to.
Hmm. Yeah, I can
This
see
is
that.
so unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to fall into the to the trap of no, this is my experience. I don't care what is your experience. I
Yeah.
really, your experience is irrelevant. What do you know? What do you observe? What do you actually create now?
I see. And that is a major differentiator. I can see that being a major differentiator between just worshiping the experience that someone has versus not really relying on that, but seeing the results. Because also, you can have, if we're talking about surgeons, you can have the new, young, very up to date, and very creative and very aware new surgeon that's younger, let's say, or you can have the old experienced surgeon. It doesn't necessarily mean that the older one with experience is better.
No,
It's
it's
who
in,
brings results. It's who is actually, yeah,
yeah. So when we looked at an experienced person that bring result, he does not rely on his experience.
yeah, exactly, for sure.
He has experience, but he doesn't consider it important. He knows.
Hmm.
He knows,
Hmm.
which mean what does it mean? I know. It means no prior cause. He's not relying on some kind of a predefined program. He
Yeah.
knows what's going on. So if something change, he can react.
Yeah, I see. That is a big difference because and that can be somebody at basically what I'm saying is at any age, but often we evaluate the person based on how many years of experience they have in a field, and that's not necessarily the what you're checking for. It's not their experience. That's
Yeah.
the my point. It's not necessarily that their experience. There's something else there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and
The
somebody asked here,
ability.
what's Mayer's definition of experience? The accumulated past or something else? How do you define experience?
Experience is what you the sum of the thing that you consider are more important than you.
Mm, I like it. Okay, the sum of the things that you consider are more important than you. Okay,
Yeah. Because
yeah.
otherwise I don't care about my experience. Otherwise,
Hmm.
if let's say I have an experience with a person that he lied to me, and
Hmm.
I think that experience is very important, which means I can never improve. I cannot improve
Hmm.
him. I cannot help him to improve. Let's say that I had an experience that I didn't manage to close a deal. From now on, I will not try to close any deal because I have an experience that I didn't manage to close a deal. And this is what's happening. A person failed with one deal or two deals and he will never try again. But the third
Yes,
deal is the one that will make him a billionaire. But he never go out anymore because the experience tell him he has experience, good or bad,
yes.
the same.
I see. And what about in a yeah, and so good or bad is the same, but what about the good in a case like this? For example, you have so much experience with working with so many different kinds of companies, from gigantic companies to smaller companies, and you've seen it all. You've really worked with the top and the top governments, and so you have experience from a one man show to a military of a country. That surely helps in some way.
Mm-mm. It's limiting. If I will rely at any moment on experience, I will not have the next step up.
Okay.
Because let's say
So,
that let's say, so what I do, every customer I go to, every moment I go to, for me it's totally new. It's a game. It's
mhm,
totally new, and I make a
mhm,
decision based on the data in front of me. Where other people say, no, 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 1 second, he is a lawyer, so because he's a lawyer it means that he knows, because he knows it means that I need to obey, because it no, no, I look,
mhm,
I don't care, I don't care about any past, nothing. I don't care what's the credential, I don't care what I experienced before. I look and act based on what I know right now, and the only
mhm,
limitations that I have is experience. If I
mm.
rely on experience, I'll be extremely limited, because there's not two situations that are the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
How can I
I see.
create
Wow.
something? How can I come with an idea if I think, no, 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 I need experience? So I'll wait for the age of 70. You will have a lot of experience, and then you'll start to live.
I see. That's a good
But
point.
I started at the age of 0.
Right. Yeah. I see. Wow. Okay, that makes sense. That for sure will get all the gears turning for anybody listening. And I want to get into the main topic now, which is really we're talking about, are you, the person listening, are you going to be cheated? How do you know if you're working with an expert or a fraud? I think everybody listening knows that if you work with the wrong professional, you're going to get bad results. And the real question, though, is how do you know if you're working with an expert? Because you might see the right branding, the right words, the right certificates, but how do you actually judge if this is the guy to work with, or if you're going to be in a surgery that leads to crazy complications?
Okay. So the first indication is, does he test before he act? The quality
Mm,
of the testing tell you the quality of the person. What does it mean? A person that test assume that his experience is not important. I don't know nothing about you. I want to look. I'm testing.
mm,
What are you saying? What's going on? I look. It's totally new. Test. I'm testing.
okay.
When I test properly, if I test properly, it means that I'm not relying on some kind of a mechanical experience.
Mm,
Imagine
uh-huh.
uh, you go to a dentist and you need a crown, and the dentist don't have any way to scan or any way to have the shape of your teeth properly taken, and he's doing it by just by feeling. He's not doing any
Hmm.
testing. How will the crown come out?
Terrible, of course.
Not so good, yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the quality of the testing is the prerequisite to know if this guy is a professional, because a person that is really good will put 99% of his effort on the testing. Because if I
Hmm.
can find the reason why I can solve anything, 99 of the solution of anything is finding the correct source of the problem.
I see. That's interesting. So any testing, depending on the profession, you're, as a person going to the doctor or the lawyer or whatever, I'm looking for, okay, first check is, I want to see what tests they run on me. I want to see what it, maybe a lawyer doesn't have specific tests, but they'll go through a series of questions about your case that are very
Yes, and this is
specific, or the dentist will do x-rays and will and check and view and do another scan and ask
measuring.
you if it hurts and measure. So okay, and
Even if I
so.
go to, let's say I want to do a renovation, I take someone to do renovation.
Mhm,
Does he come and really test what's going on behind the walls, or he just look around and say, "Oh, that's the." He's using his experience. He saw so many things that he doesn't actually look. He saw a few indication, and he said, and then you start the renovation, and the surprises start.
mhm, I see.
Even a lawyer, does he actually test what you are actually trying to achieve? Does he actually test what actually going on with the limitations of the laws? That he actually really understand what's going on. Does he test his understanding? Does he actually test if he actually duplicated? Does he actually tell you, okay, fine, so you want to achieve this and this and that, and the limitation of that, does he actually ask you, or does he tell you as a machine?
Mm,
Oh no, I've tried to do that. Many times we sit in front of the lawyers and they tell me, no, it's impossible, because they're
yeah,
using experience as they don't
true.
test. They don't try
Yes.
to actually look, what am I trying to achieve? They
Hmm.
didn't go through that first step of testing, getting the data properly.
I see. And then how do I know if it's a good test or not? How do I know? Because let's say I'm not the expert in the field, right? So how do I check whether the test that they're running is like, oh yeah, this is he knows what's happening.
So the general thing is that if he tests, it will be right, because a useless person will not run test.
Mm, mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm,
understand? They won't, because he doesn't know what to test.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
A testing requires such high level of knowingness, such
Mm-hmm.
high level of understanding. It's much easier to build a table than to measure, is it square and is it balanced. It's
Mm,
much easier to create a crown than to build the system that will tell you if the crown, how do I actually measure the size of the crown that need to be there. So if he's doing testing, chances are that he knows. Now he can fake doing testing. He can fake doing testing or doing irrelevant testing. And this is where you need to be a little bit awake and also do your own testing, which is, what is he doing? I need to understand.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because for you, it's the same thing. Are you a professional also? Because when someone doing testing for me, I want to understand, what do you do?
Yeah,
I'm
I see, and then
testing
it's
you as
okay to
well.
ask that. Yeah, it's
Of
okay to
course.
ask you, what are you looking for now, or what did you see?
Yeah.
Or
What's
or
going
yeah.
on? Why do you do that? Why do you do that? Like,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I see. And it's also a good point that you make about, like, basically, in order to test, you kind of need it shows that you know the subject well, right?
yeah.
Like, yeah, you can't test something that you don't know the subject on which
Yeah.
you're testing.
I'll give you an example. I want
Yeah.
to test the person ability to duplicate quickly.
Mhm. Mhm.
What kind of test will you do?
Yeah,
If
how
you
would you
cannot
measure that?
come up, how will you measure it? I want to test a person tendency to be violent. I just, how do you measure it? If you don't understand the whole subject of how the mind causes a person to be violent, and what's the connection to the spirit, and what's the connection to the environment and the past, and how do I do a test? And the test have to be A to B. If it takes 27 years to test you, and then you killed 50 people on the process, it doesn't really help.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's amazing. You have to know the mechanics behind it. It's like, if you want to test blood, you've got to know blood really well. You got to know
Yeah.
blood in order to design tests about blood. If you don't know anything about blood, how would you test it? Okay, so that makes sense. It's also oh, sorry, you were going to say, yeah.
Yeah, and so you've got the design on the one hand, and the second is when you do the testing, you do the test, and let's say you just draw blood, yes? Now you look at the results of the test, and you need to do proper evaluation. That's this next thing. So number one, to do the correct test for the situation, because I may
Hmm.
not need the blood test. Maybe I need to do an MRI. Maybe I don't need I go to a business and people come to me and say, "Oh, I have a problem with income." And usually people will say, "Well, you have a problem in income with income, so probably you need better sales or better marketing." But I will test where is the actual problem, because maybe the problem is that you're blocking the sales.
Mm.
Maybe the problem is that someone internally in your company is a spy for the competition and destroy your sales. Maybe there's so many options. You need to know
Yeah.
how to test. Which test
Hmm.
to use? How to test? How comprehensive it is?
Yeah, I was going to say that's interesting because, of course, with GP, we practically don't work with anyone new that comes in unless they go through our series of tests, and
And
they're
not, and
really,
even
really
existing.
comprehensive.
Yeah, and even existing before every seminar and after every seminar, we do tests to see did we actually perform.
Yeah, exactly.
Is
Yeah,
there
it's
an
amazing.
improvement? Yes.
Yeah. So let's just really quickly, because that's super interesting and relevant in GP for those listening. Maybe you can tell them what are we testing, and you know how it's built and why we've designed it so, and why is it so important before any seminar and after any seminar to test, why any new person has to run through tests. Maybe
So
chat about that for a sec, and then we'll go to, yeah.
So there's a few things, depend on which area you're going to handle. But let's take a business environment. So what I will do, I will test the person his ability to lead, even if he works for someone. I will test the person ability to really look at the situation and understand it.
Mm,
What is his level of understanding? Of course, I will test the IQ of the person because it will tell me how much I can give him before it will be too much for him. Because I can explain something at this level, this level, or this level, or this level, or outside of the frame altogether,
yeah.
at different levels. And it's best, so it tells me what's going on with the IQ, his ability to duplicate.
Mhm.
And then I look at the personality. Where is his actual problem is, and based on this combined test, I know who am I dealing with in terms of a beingness. And then I look at the statistics. I looked at his history in terms of income, in terms of expenses, in terms blah blah blah, and then I look at how much drugs he's using, and then I look at how many relationship issues he has, and then I look at all kind of different questions and different tests that I'm doing, and then we sitting with those tests and we look at them, and I will say, okay, good, this is the problem of this person, and without knowing this person, I can tell you everything about this person.
Yeah, it's fascinating because two things. Number one, I'll know who the client is. I'll have all their tests. I know their background. I've spoken to them. Mayor won't know any of that. He'll just look at the tests and he'll describe to me personal details about that person that the person told me before, like not recorded, just they've told me their personal things. The mayor will tell me this person has a big drug history, or this person has problems with their parents. And the reason that this person's struggling every day is because he has staff that are attacking him. Stuff that's really like, how would he know? But the tests show him that. I heard it because the guy called me and said, "Listen, I have staff attacking me." So the tests show it. It's amazing how you can get so much out of them. It's really
Yeah,
fascinating.
it
And
tells you
yeah.
everything. It tells everything,
Yeah.
and it's totally irresponsible to try to help another person without testing. It's like when I
Hmm.
go to communicate with you, if I don't understand your viewpoint before I start to communicate, it's irresponsible to communicate.
Mm. Amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Have to understand the other side's viewpoint first before
Before,
you communicate.
yes,
Yeah.
before
And
you
that's
say
why,
anything.
yeah, yeah, and that's why some people just come up to someone and just they just start talking, and like it catches the receiver off guard because like, what are you talking? I'm not in that. Like, let's say I'm upset right now, and you come enthusiastically, or I don't even know what you're talking about. There's no connection first.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You don't get their viewpoint first before you communicate. Yeah.
I spoke to yesterday to someone. I was in dancing and I was talking to someone and just asked her, "What are you doing?" And she told me, and I got the information before I started to talk to her. And I just said something in order to make her right. In Israel, but she had a massive button on Israel. She doesn't know anything about Israel, but she had a massive button on Israel because she had some ideas in her mind. And she exploded, like exploded. And I was just trying to tell her how amazing she is. And
Uh-huh.
it took a whole handling because I didn't do the test of what does she think about Israel. And she's
Ah,
been
wow.
brainwashed about Israel is bad, so it means that I am bad. Although I've helped her for months, I'm dancing with her for months, but we don't talk when we dance, yes? But I helped her a
Yeah.
lot, a lot, a lot. And every time she said how amazing I am, and every time she see me, she hug me and kiss me, and everything is wonderful. But I just say one word, and an automation kicks in in the head, and you have a monster in front of you because I didn't do the test.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You
Yeah.
understand? I didn't test her viewpoint on Israel
Mm,
before. So I
mhm.
didn't actually give it to her in a way that the insane automaticity, the experience that she have, will cause it to go totally nuts, nuts.
Mm.
You see
That's
a very
amazing.
nice small lady, wonderful dancing and wanting to learn, all of a sudden becoming a monster, claiming
Wow.
that Israel is a monster
Yes.
while being a
Yeah.
monster.
Yeah, very interesting. It's so I get also it's even more relevant now what you were saying, which is well, you have to get their viewpoint before you communicate, meaning that's actually the test
That's the
before you
test.
communicate. See, amazing,
That's it.
amazing.
You don't do
Wow.
the test. If you don't do the test, you'll get you dealing with the most volatile material on Earth, worse than any atom bomb, worse than anything. It's just the reaction is nuclear.
Hmm.
Nuclear reaction if you don't actually do testing. And testing and the nuclear reaction can be you can destroy a person's life by trying to help him in area 1 when he's actually sick in area 2.
Hmm.
And it will tell you the difference is, of course, a professional can handle something like that. So I saw what happening and I knew what I need to do in order to calm her down. But it's
Yeah.
better not to create Chernobyl and then cover it. It's better not to have a Chernobyl. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
for
Wow,
Chernobyl,
amazing.
make sure that it will not explode. And this is just a
Yeah.
small, one word that it's still testing. It's if I would do the testing before, she wouldn't react like that.
Hmm. I can see that. Wow, that's super interesting. It's so true that that
And
is
I
the
was
testing of the
really
communication.
trying to tell her how amazing she is, that in Israel she will be even more appreciated from where I'm coming from. And like, whoa, the automation,
Uh,
nuclear, like Chernobyl.
Oh
Chernobyl,
my
just
gosh. Yeah. Wow. Wow. No, that's amazing. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I want to get to the other points that we have on what to look for, but it makes sense. The quality of the testing makes so much sense. And it's really, I mean, that's what we do with GP. By the way, anybody who's listening that wants to find the source for their problem, whether it's personal, business, relationship, etc. By the way, we've found 99% of the time, the source of the problem is not what the client thinks it is. Not they don't even see it. So if you want to find that thing, reach out to us. It's the first thing that we do in our initial consultation.
yeah.
So
So,
okay.
first of all, you need to have good testing, and you as a person that being test, that getting a service. If someone offer you a service without testing, then he's not offering you a service. He wants you to buy. You
Mhm.
got you go to a website. The website don't offer you a service. They want you to buy. They try
Mhm.
to close you to become a robot and to buy. But when you go to a salesperson, he will ask you, why do you need this computer? Why do you want to replace the cell phone? You already have a cell phone.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
will ask you, they will want to understand, they will test, they will try to understand what's going on with you so they can actually help you. They can evaluate what you need, diagnose what's the correct solution, and be able to deliver to you what you actually need.
Mhm.
And
Yes,
otherwise, it's like nonsense.
I see. So that's okay. So basically, you do this thorough testing. You have the evaluation. Somebody has to look at it, see the results, get a conclusion, and that conclusion is the diagnosis. They'll say to you, "Hey, look, here's the thing. Here's what we need to do
Yeah.
to handle it," and then, of course, delivering it. So that's like I just got my wisdom teeth taken out. So I went there. I didn't necessarily expect that I would need them taken out, but go to the dentist. He did an X-ray, and so that was, of course, part of the testing, one of the major parts. So he did the X-ray, and he says to me, "Okay, what I'm seeing is the first thing is you have these wisdoms that are affecting you in XYZ way." And he also saw, wow, your jaw has some corrosion here, whatever, and you have some gaps in the teeth, between the teeth and the gum. So he did this whole evaluation from the tests, and he looked with his own thing. Let me just double check it. He didn't just rely on the X-ray; he wanted to also look. And so I guess that would be the evaluation, and then the diagnosis is basically saying, listen, if we are to proceed, you're going to have these gaps handled in the between the gums, and we got to take out the teeth. That's the diagnosis. And then, of course, the delivery would be taking out the teeth.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
if I understand correctly.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you see that in the diagnosis stage, it will make so much sense to you. All of a sudden, everything will make sense. So he found out that these differences, and all of a sudden, lots of things make sense. Because if you've done total correct, if your testing is correct, and if you've done proper evaluation, when someone will deliver to you the diagnosis, you will have this, yes. Yeah, there's someone that's cheating and stealing and messing up our customer. Yes. You understand?
Yeah.
You remember the story with this company that I went to deliver some consultancy, and they couldn't increase the sales. They couldn't increase the sales. And I looked around and I did the testing. And I looked at the result of the testing, and I realized that the problem with the sales was actually not a problem in sales at all. The diagnosis that I delivered to the person, I said, look, the problem that you have is that your support guys and your sales guys sitting in the same room. So the sales guy hear all day long bad things about your product. So of course, they are good people. They don't want to sell bad stuff. So they will not sell. We're going to separate them. We're going to move them to a different area of the building. They will have their own place, and these people will have their own place. We don't need to teach them. We don't need to do anything. That's all we're doing. And boom, 3 times the sales.
It's unbelievable. That was amazing. And you created this disconnection between, like, total disconnection. Like, they ate in different rooms, they got coffee in different places. So the people that heard the complaints all day, the support, never got to interact with the salespeople. So it didn't poison their mind about all the defects that any product will naturally have. It needs support.
All the
But the
complaints.
salespeople were getting poisoned. It's really fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really unbelievable, because
Yeah.
without the testing, how will you discover it?
Yeah.
Without the testing, how will you discover it?
Mm-hmm.
And if you know your job, you will build such a test that will discover it, because it's really hidden. Now that I tell you in the diagnosis, of course, everyone says, yes, of course, it makes sense. But if I give you a company of 3,000 people, huge company that has a problem with sales, what will you think? You will not suspect that it's actually somewhere in some place that the room is the problem.
Unbelievable. They had a construction problem. Actually, they didn't build a wall between the two.
Exactly, the missing wall. Yes.
Yeah, that's just
Trump
wow.
Trump was right. We need a wall.
Yeah, we need the wall, exactly. Wow. Okay, that's amazing. So really, as a consumer, that's what I'm looking for. I'm evaluating kind of. I'm testing. What I'm testing is, are they testing me? Then how do they actually evaluate it? Like, what's he doing to evaluate it? Then I'm checking, okay, how is he diagnosing me?
Yeah,
Like,
in
what's
the
the diagnosis?
diagnosis, I need to have wow.
Wow.
In the
Okay. Yeah.
diagnosis stage, you need to have, yes, there is an improvement. There must be an improvement already. I will know, yes, it makes sense. It explained that and it explained that. And it makes sense. There will be a release. There will be some kind of an improvement by the diagnosis alone. You will know there is future, where before you had the problem, now you have future.
Yes, I see. And even if that's super true, even if the guy didn't yet deliver the next thing. Like he didn't take out the teeth yet. So I
Nothing.
didn't pay for that part yet. Just the fact that the test was good and the diagnosis was good. I basically had this, I get what's going on with my mouth. I see why it's been happening. That already is like, okay, it's an
Yeah.
improvement. I know
Mhm.
what to do now. So if I'm going to anyone, the lawyer or whoever I work with, or landscaper or anyone, I'm checking in the diagnosis phase. Do I have a aha moment by what they tell me?
100%.
Okay. Then they deliver. Okay. Now, what am I looking for in the delivery? How do I know if they're good or not in their delivery?
How fast is the delivery?
How fast? Okay.
The
Yeah.
first thing, the first thing, how fast
Okay.
and how simple it is for them.
Mm-hmm.
If they tell you, look, I'm going to do this wisdom teeth and it's very complicated and I'm not sure what will be the result and I cannot give you any guarantee and it's complicated, no one can know, blah, blah, go find someone else.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think that, by the way, that, yeah, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. You think
No,
that?
I was going to say, I think that the speed thing is also something that is kind of a through line throughout the whole thing, because I'm almost looking at their speed from the moment I call their office. How quickly do they answer the phone? How quickly do they book me in? How quickly do they reply to my email? How quick are they even to do the tests? That's also a big point. Of course, the delivery, that makes total sense. But would you
Yeah.
say that the speed needs to be there throughout?
The speed is definitely an indication, speed and how simple it is. So when I
Hmm.
come to someone and he looks at me and he says, "Okay, good. So I know what I need to test. We will need to do this test, this test, this test." It's like that. Not, "Oh, let me look. It's complicated. I don't know. I'm not sure." Blah blah blah. I talk to a lawyer. I give him what I want. Does he say, "Okay, fine. I understand. You want this. You want this. You want this." It means that we have this kind of problem to handle. The way to handle it is to do this and this and this, uh, and I will immediately say, "Ah, wow, that makes sense,"
Hmm. Hmm.
as
Yeah.
opposed to a useless average lawyer that will say, "Okay, this is a problem. It's difficult. I don't know. I need to go and study. I need to look at the case history." He's not a
Yeah.
professional. I need to
Yeah.
pay him to learn, yes? Because
Uh-huh.
a professional, no, he needs to test, he needs to check things, what you want, and he will come immediately with the diagnosis. Okay, this is what we can do. This option number one, this is what you need to expect. This is option number two, and not, an average lawyer would say, no, 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 I cannot give any guarantee. No, if I'm a lawyer, I can tell you for sure this and this and this. This is the problem, and I can guarantee to you the risk, and I can guarantee to you the upside. I know exactly what will happen. If I cannot predict the future, I'm useless.
Hmm. Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and,
I like that.
when I give the diagnosis, it will be this is what's going to happen. This, that. Thank you very much. That's how it will work. And if this will not work, I will do this, but I will bring the result. Don't worry. On me, I can guarantee it.
Hmm. Yeah. That's great. That makes sense. I like that element of in the delivery or even before. There's an element also of predicting the future, because even with a dentist, because that's my example right now, he could predict before what will happen and what's going to be needed and how long it will take. And it was like, yeah, no problem. Like it's simple. Yeah, it
There's a
makes
very
total
good
sense.
these are very good things. I'm working a lot with programmers, and I evaluate programmers by their ability to look at the problem, understand exactly what I need as a client,
Hmm.
and then in the diagnosis, when they tell me, a useless programmer would say, "Well, I don't know it. No one can predict it. It will take a long time. It will take, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, a lot of I don't know." A good programmer would say, "This is a 2 weeks job. And if you want also this feature, it will be that. But if we will take that is not so important, it will take two days. What do you want?"
Hmm. Uh-huh.
And I can guarantee it. It might be that once in a while he will be wrong in 20 minutes, yes. But this guy knows
Hmm.
what he's doing.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
knows what he's doing. You go to one of your employees and you say, "Well, I don't know. It's difficult that he's lying to you. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He is cheating nonsense."
Mm, yeah. I see. That's amazing. That makes so much sense. And it's a tool that anybody can take and use. Okay. And so then they've delivered. And is there anything else that I'm looking for?
Yeah. So as soon as they deliver, they will look for what needs to be corrected, what needs to be improved. They deliver, there's always improvement, there's always room for better. Yes. So you deliver and it's beautiful and everything is okay. But once you deliver, you have a new viewpoint of something that has been delivered already. How do you handle the correction? How do they handle the correction? Are they running away from it or not? And this is something that you ask them in advance. Okay, so what do you do with if there is a problem? What do you do if there is a problem? So he will tell you, look, the problem that could be is this, and that, and I will handle it like this, like this, like this, and like that. And if something else will happen, don't worry, I'm here. I will know what to do.
Yeah. Brilliant. That would be amazing. If only everyone could be like that. Yes.
That's the viewpoint.
Yeah.
That must be the viewpoint if you are a professional. I go and
Right.
I do renovation, or I fix your teeth, or I consult you, or I do anything. Is yes, I'm going to deliver it, and there may be problems, but don't worry, the problem can be this, and that. We will have to open and see what's actually going on. But whatever happen, I can tell you, I will take care of it. I can handle it. There is nothing that I cannot handle. Nothing.
Yeah.
And you say, but if he's a doctor, what if? No, if he's a doctor and he knows what he's doing, that will be the result. If not, it means that something along the line before the testing, he didn't see something. He didn't test properly. So now he opened you, and there's a surprise. He didn't test.
Yeah.
The testing is at fault. Or
Yeah.
the
I see.
diagnosis is somewhere before. The
Yeah.
problem
Oh,
is not
but
the delivery. The problem is before. He missed something before.
oh, I see. Gotcha. So if there's a need for correction, the problem was earlier.
No, if there will be a need for correction, but the correction that is under your control is normal. It's totally okay.
Oh, okay.
I've delivered
Yes. If it's
something.
something not under your control, I see.
But if it's not under your control, like you say, a doctor will tell you, look, I don't know what I will find when I open. It's not a problem. One of two things. Either you don't have a proper testing, so you're guessing. So I'm a guinea pig, so at least I know. And you would tell me, look, this is an area we don't know. I'm telling you, I'm a guinea pig. I'm not a professional. So he's admitting he's not a professional because he doesn't have the testing for that. Yes, at least
Yeah.
admit. Yes.
Yes.
Or if he is a professional, it's anything that happened there I can handle. Don't worry.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. Yeah. I can.
Just unbelievable.
Makes
It's
sense.
just
It's yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah. That is a big differentiator. That makes total 100% sense. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, let me read the comments. This was really wow. So, Myrtle.
Hey, you're stuck. Gali, you're stuck on the main platform. You're frozen. Yes, here we go. Let's see if you're back. Almost. You're frozen. A good picture, though. Good freeze. This is a good. I don't see you. I think you need to re-log in because I don't see you. Yes. You need to log in again. Yes. Give us a second. Almost there, almost. Yes, Gali's fixing these technical difficulties.
I think I'm back.
Okay, I see you. Yes, you're back, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Hello. Sorry about that. Yes. So what I was saying is I was reading the chat, but the problem. Oh, there. I do have it still. Yes. So Vishal, that's so amazing. Never really thought of it that way, and now the results are proven and are predictable too. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes.
And Poonam is here. Hi, Poonam. And okay, there was a question from Chantel. So Chantel said, how to test someone in a relationship to know if they're right for you. How would you know?
Okay. So obviously, the test in a relationship is a test. It's an emotional test. The only thing that break relationship is mismatching emotions. So when a person is a cheater or a liar or something like that, he will have a certain relationship. And when a person is loving, caring, unbelievable, able, he will have a certain kind of an emotion characteristic. So you need to learn how to check the emotion. That's number one. And
Mm-hmm.
but in terms of just when you just go to a person and let's say that you don't know much about emotions, just check how fast he is, in bringing results. You ask him, make me coffee. How long does it take him to make you the coffee? Or does he
Mm-hmm.
give you a problem? You
Mm-hmm.
ask, just check the speed, and it will tell you how good that person is for you. And you will see that the person that lying will never give you the exact answer to your question. He would just somehow cheat you because he's emotionally destroyed. And so I will not touch him, not even with a stick. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I
I
see.
will. So,
Yeah.
so generally, you need to check the speed of bringing results.
How do you do
Not
that in a first date situation?
tell me about your family.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, well, I was growing in a very small city, and do you want do you like to drink rosé or no? Just tell me about your family. Ah, yes, my family. Why are you asking? He's not answering. Yes, it's just a delay. He's not answering your question. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
or you sit with him and you will just see that his actions are a little bit slow. Okay, you say, okay, fine, we are leaving. Somehow he will need to get organized to leave. Nothing is A to B. Everything is slow. Or he will be late for the meetings, or he will not give you answers that are to the point. Somehow there will be not to the point, where a person that you can trust, a person that loving, a person that is in actually in present time, and he's a present for you, will be
Mm-hmm.
with you. If he will not understand something, he will say, sorry, I don't understand, explain it to me. He will be interested, he will be there, but very quick, very, very, very quick. And that will be your first and most important indication. If he's slow, throw him away,
Mm. That's
get a
great.
new one.
Yeah, you got a new one. Upgrade. Yes.
Yeah, don't be impressed by the muscles. Yes,
Yeah.
don't be impressed by how it looks, etc., because the look changes and your viewpoint on the look will change, etc. But the true value of a person is in his viewpoint. Is he
Mm.
bringing result or not? Does he do the testing? Does he ask you, what do you feel? What do you want? How can I help you? Or
Yeah.
does he just transmit?
Hmm.
Are you with me?
That's very good. Very good. Yeah. Yeah. And Curtis said, wow, so practical. Poonam said, true. Yeah, that's really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, this was great. I think that this is, yeah, super practical. Something
Yeah.
that I feel like anybody listening can operate day to day now with like a different eye as to how they're going around in dealing with anyone, whether it's a potential hire, a potential girlfriend, a potential dentist, a potential contractor. This is like a totally new way of viewing things. I'm
Yeah.
amazing.
And I'm sure that anyone that will watch that will want to know about himself. So
Hmm.
contact us and we will do the testing for you. We have a whole battery of testing that we continuously improving. As you know, we have correction. We continuously improving and expanding and correcting it. So it will be even more accurate, more exact. And do the testing. And based on this testing, we'll deliver to you the diagnosis And you will see that just by that, by pinpointing what's actually need to be fixed, it will be amazing for you, because you will stop blaming yourself for things that happened to you when you were 3 years old, and you'll stop blaming your parents, and you'll stop blaming all kinds of false reasons for your problem. And that's alone will free you up, because you will not be stuck in the past for so long, and you'll get the present of present time.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Our testing is like every time I do it with somebody, they say, like I've had 2 or 3 separate people say, "I've gone to a psychic and this was more accurate than a psychic." Or people like a few times people say that, or they're like, "Wow, this is exactly me," or "You're right. How did you know that?" Or it's really cutting through. It's like an X-ray on the spirit, on the business, and on the person's life as a whole. It's really amazing. Curtis said the tests are really incredible. Has helped me improve in my own life just by seeing the results, even before getting help from GP. Wow, yeah, amazing, amazing,
Yeah,
Curtis. Yeah, they're
amazing.
really good, really
Yeah.
good. First thing we do, and I love that we have that. It's like,
And
yeah,
I think this is one of the big differences between anyone that is professional, the test. And when you are not professional, you will say, no, no, this cannot be tested. If that cannot be tested, then you don't know anything.
100%. It's so true. Yeah, 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 100%. The areas that we have, that's the first reaction of people is, but how do you test that?
Yeah,
Like our clients, but how? And then they see and they go, wow, it's so that's probably in the field, and people have exactly what you're saying. Nah, that can't be tested, or there's no way to test that, but there is.
there is.
Fascinating. Okay, this was great, really great. Thank you, Abba. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Gabriel.
Thank you to
Yeah,
everybody
thank you,
listening. Thank
everyone.
you for your questions, for your comments, for being involved, for sharing this. If you watched it and enjoyed it, I thank you in advance for sharing and commenting and liking. And we'll see you at the next one. Same time,
Thank
same
you.
place.
Bye, bye, bye.
Thank
Mwah.
you. Bye. Mwah. Love you. Bye.